What is up, bros? I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we're a couple of bros on a mission to give you guys the most detailed movie reviews out there with as little bias as possible. Welcome to the All Bros. This week on the podcast, we will be talking about our weekly watches, what me and Caleb have been watching for the past week or so. And then right after that, we'll be getting down. Wow. Be getting down to it. We'll be getting to our headliner of the evening, which will be our breakdown of Wonka. If you guys haven't, hopefully you guys tune into this podcast every week, but if you haven't in a while, we did change things up a little bit. So 4K Spotlight will no longer be a weekly thing. We're just going to be covering that every single month at the beginning of the month, and just talking about what cool new releases are coming out for that certain month. So if you wanted to know what was coming out in January, be sure to listen to last week's episode, because while there's not a lot, that's where you'll learn that's where you'll learn what's coming out this month for 4K releases. So yeah. But Caleb, what do you say we get started?
I say, let's do it.
Hey, this is Mikey T.
And the Grant.
And Billy.
And we are the Failing Hollywood Podcast. We're a show that is real film crew with real cast that talks about real set stuff.
Like what it's like to work 70 hours in 1 week, overnights only.
And what it's like to bring coffee to actors.
And what it's like to sit in a bathtub with a toaster nearby and be like, maybe I'll just end it all.
What it's like to make love on a fake New York set when you're sitting in L.A. but wishing you were in Chicago.
That got real very fast at the end.
Like I said, dude, so he sent us 8 of those. I've only listened to maybe like 4.
So that one make you think about, dropping a toaster into a bathtub. Jeez Louise. Okay. Wow. So yeah, I'm not gonna work in Hollywood. I'm good.
Yeah, same here.
Anyway, but no, seriously, you guys should really go check out Failing Hollywood, an amazing show. What's up, Sam? Welcome.
Yeah, a little slower on the draw. You're 3 minutes or almost 4 minutes late.
Yeah, what the heck, Sam? Just kidding. All right, getting into our weekly watches of the week. Caleb, you want to start us out?
I would love to. So I watched Paddington 2 this week. Completely. I mean, kind of on a whim, kind of because I felt like I was guided to. Because of this is a kind of a tie-in to the unbearable weight of massive talent. Sam was driving. Oh, okay.
All right, that's a good excuse.
Yeah, that's a pretty good excuse. Yeah, so this was kind of in reference to the unbearable weight of massive talent. In that movie, Pedro Pascal talks about his favorite movie being Paddington 2, and Nicolas Cage kind of like pokes fun at him for it, and he's like, well, have you ever seen it? And he's like, well, no. And so they watch it, and it's just hilarious because afterward Nicolas Cage is just like, that is like a beautiful piece of cinema and blah blah blah. And I was like, meh, let's just for shits and giggles, let's see if that was true or if that was just a gag. It was not a gag. It is a beautiful piece of cinema. And dude, the freaking emotional turn, because at the end of the gag, it's the end of the movie, and freaking Nicolas Cage is like in tears and just like, that's freaking beautiful. And I was watching it, I was laughing and all that, but there wasn't anything like truly like emotional about it. And so I was just like, all right, I wonder what's gonna, if this emotional turn will come, or if they were just exaggerating for the film or whatever. And Yeah, and so the ending is freaking emotional as shit. Like a freaking gut punch is like the best. It was like getting hit by a freight train of emotion because it was just like it was nothing, and I was like, I knew kind of what the ending was going to bring, like, and I predicted it from the beginning, and I was just like, okay, so this is how it's going to end up. It ended up exactly how I thought it was, and then still just freaking
Shit.
yeah, like Braille was freaking making fun of me for it and everything, but it was a really good movie, really really well done.
So is it a sequel that tops the first one?
That is a tough call. Um uh, I don't know.
Okay.
Because the first one's really good too, but the first one also kind of acts like an origin, and you know how I feel about origins. But I mean, the first one is really good as well. Like I'd say they're on par with each other.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to be giving this one a $5 Tuesday. A
Not
very
bad.
strong $5 Tuesday, because this could very easily get bumped up to a full price.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next thing I watched, I rewatched Christopher Robin this week because I have a toddler and my movie options are very limited. But this one held up really well. This one was it was super fun to watch again. Didn't keep my attention as quite as good, but I don't know if that was because I bet it was because I was distracted by my kid, because
Mm.
for whatever reason it wasn't holding her attention, and so she was off running around and doing whatever, and so that was distracting me.
Gotcha.
But when she was sitting down and paying attention, so was I. So
Okay.
I am attributing any distraction or any like lack of attention I was giving it. I attribute that to toddler rambunctiousness. But it was still super fun. Loved every minute. Like hearing Tigger sing his song was fantastic. So yeah, really, really like this movie. It's on Disney Plus if anyone wants to check it out.
Actually watch a good live action adaptation of Winnie the Pooh, because dude, after we watched Blood and Honey for that one episode, that night I went and watched this just to get that out of my get that bad taste of a movie out of my mouth.
That was a good call. I wish I would have done that, but that is also a movie that is so easily forgettable that
That is fair.
like
Dude,
Blood and Honey didn't even like cross my mind while I was watching this one.
good. Dude, freaking speaking of that, I mean, I'm sure you've heard that there's already a sequel that's coming out this year.
Yep.
Did you hear that the original Mickey Mouse is now public domain? Like it
I did hear that.
and like freaking how fast they've already greenlit 3 pieces of cinema, or sorry, 3 pieces of media, 2 movies, 1 video game.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a video game coming out this year, which I'm not gonna lie, the video game kind of sounds fun.
What is it?
So it's you go on this. I think it's like you take a ferry to an island that's infested with like rodents, and there's a huge, and you're trying to get rid of them, but you also have to deal with a mutated giant rodent, and that turns out to be Steamboat Willie, the mutated Mickey Mouse.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. So
yes.
is it I thought it was Mickey Mouse as a character, or is it only like Steamboat Willie?
I think it's just Steamboat Willie. It's just the original interpretation of Mickey Mouse.
Okay. Cause like I've
But
seen
I
like
could be
so much
wrong.
stuff like lately about like this is now legal. Oh, this is now legal. But it's all revolved around Steamboat Willie. And I'm like, why aren't you
Yeah.
going with like more modern adaptations of Mickey?
No, that's
Or
fair.
but I mean, if it's only Steamboat Willie, then yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's like the video game, and then the movies are just about a freaking killer Mickey Mouse just killing people.
Of
Shocker.
course.
Yeah.
I bet you they're
Um,
gonna be horrible.
Probably. But the fact that like 2 of these projects were announced day 1 and they were already well into production, I'm just like, geez Louise, people. Like, damn.
Dude, I watched there's a channel that I really like watching. They're the ones that do the visual effects artists react and like the stunt people react videos and all that.
Yeah.
One of their team members is a lawyer.
Oh.
And so he did like a whole breakdown on why Disney isn't pushing to like extend out the copyright for Mickey Mouse. And it's freaking crazy.
If you could I'm just curious, if you could sum it up, why aren't they?
It's because Mickey Mouse isn't as big of a it's just because Disney's become so big. It's become much bigger than Mickey Mouse. It's like that's ultimately what it comes down to. I think he said it was like pre-1990. The characters that Disney was creating made up a vast majority of the money that was coming into Disney in terms of like merchandising, movies, like all of that. It was their original characters. So that's Mickey, Donald, Goofy, all of them. And so the reason that they kept paying to get their copyright extended is because anyone who would have messed with that, like messed with the image of that character without like legal ramifications, would have like done some damage to Disney's brand because those characters were such a big portion of their incoming money. And so after 1990, when Disney started acquiring these other brands, so Marvel, Star Wars, like the amusement parks and all this other stuff, they started accumulating so much additional wealth and different like funds that were coming in that weren't based off of their characters, that Mickey stopped being as valuable to them. So that's what it's like ultimately come down to, is Mickey and the money that he brings. And like, so the money that they would have put forward to like basically lobby and extend the copyright out again, it comes down to it's not as valuable to their time and efforts as it used to be, where pre-1990, before all these Disney acquisitions, they were like, they had to like extend out these like the copyrights, like I think it was like 20 years or 25, whatever the span of time was from the beginning of like Mickey, because they had like there was so much value tied up in Mickey Mouse to their company, and just that image and the characters and whatnot. Yeah. So as Disney got bigger and started acquiring, Mickey stopped being as valuable of an asset to them. Like, he's still a valuable asset. Like, he's still worth like millions of dollars, but that's freaking chump change compared to the billions of dollars other stuff is bringing into Disney.
All right, fair enough.
So they're like, okay, well, we could spend millions of dollars unnecessarily, because I mean, at this point, what people do to Mickey Mouse isn't going to affect Disney whatsoever.
That's true.
But once upon a time, when it was like, I mean, when the internet wasn't around, like, you could do some real damage to Disney, saying like, oh, this is like officially licensed Mickey merchandise. And so, yeah, it's the damage that can be done to Disney is so minuscule now that not putting forth the effort to lobby and get the copyright limits extended again.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a cool video. If you guys
Yeah.
want to check it out, it's the Corridor Crew or the Corridor Channel, and yeah, it's a great video. Like, it's a
Definitely gonna have
really
to
well
check
done
this
video,
out.
and it's all from like a legal perspective too.
That is awesome.
So yeah, it's a great video. Like, I'll have to send it to you when
Yeah,
when we're
please.
done.
Yeah, I definitely want to check this out. Because, like, you think that I thought that they would still live by, the studio started with a man and a mouse, and out of respect for Walt Disney, if I would think that they'd want to protect Mickey Mouse at all costs, but I guess not.
Yeah, ultimately, it like they don't give a flying shit about Walt Disney and like that image. They care about Disney's turned into a bottom line. Like, whatever's bringing in the most money, and Mickey is not bringing in the money or the percentage of income that he used to, because he used to be the majority like moneymaker of Disney.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like, it was like the animation studios. It was all of this stuff tied around Mickey Mouse, and his contribution to Disney has just become smaller and smaller and smaller. Now it's to the point where they're just like, who cares?
Damn. That's insane.
Right? Like, like I said, super interesting video.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
if I remember, I'll post the link to the video in the description.
Yeah.
Of this, but crazy good video if you get a chance to watch. The guy that does it, like he's freaking amazing with his words. So it keeps you engaged the entire time, which I
Okay.
really like, especially through all the legal lingo. Yeah. So yeah, that's about the shit that's gone down with Disney. That's about what I expected to go down, like, as soon as Mickey turned into the public domain.
Holy shit. I still can't believe that. That is insane.
Yeah. What else did I watch this week? Getting back into the weekly watch. I went and saw Migration. Great movie. This is a bit of a spoiler for next week, but I love this movie. Unfortunately, it is one that I would give a stream it recommendation to, because I feel like that would be the ideal viewing for it.
Okay.
But I mean, like I said, I'll save my thoughts and everything for next week's episode, this is what we'll be breaking down. But I very much enjoyed this episode, or this movie.
Very nice. All right, so I rewatched a couple movies this week. The first being Cat in the Hat.
Why?
Because I was scrolling through so I have this movie on Blu-ray, but it's been years since I popped that in. And I was scrolling through Peacock, because Peacock's like I feel it's a streaming service that I don't really pay that much attention to. So I wanted to see if there were any good movies on there. And this was just recently added, as far as I think it was just recently added. It might have been there for a hot minute. But I saw that. I'm just like, okay, you know what? I know it's bad, but let's just see. Let's just remember how bad it is. And oh my God, it's still so bad. The only, you want to know the only positive I can say about this movie is that a buddy of mine and me catch ourselves quoting this movie quite often at work. This movie is so goddamn quotable to me. But that's about it. The Cat in the Hat, the cat himself is not how he is in the books, because he is never this dirty. There's way too many sexual innuendos with him. The things are freaking nightmare fuel. D- Literally the only thing that good that I can say about this movie is the set pieces are cool. Like the sets actually look really cool. Like they definitely seem like they're out of a Dr. Seuss book. Um, but other than that, really not that much good here. I mean, the two child actors that play Conrad and Sally, they're pretty good with what they're given. But everything else just sucks. It's a horrible adaptation. Like how did we go from The Grinch, which Jim Carrey's The Grinch truly understands the story. You truly understand why he hates Christmas. If anything, I feel it adds to the original book. Um, but this one, it's just a slap in the face. Like, and this is I don't know if I already said this. This is my favorite Dr. Seuss book growing up. The Cat in the Hat will always be my favorite. And so just imagine my dismay seeing my favorite Dr. Seuss character treated so badly as a child.
Dude, it was so bad. No one has wanted to touch that movie or that property.
Dude, like seriously. And dude, I remember when so my elementary actually did a field trip for this movie to go see this movie in theaters. Like they made an event out of it. It was kind of cool.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I'm very curious what the teachers thought when the freaking Cat in the Hat picks up the picture of the mom and it's just like, oh, who is this? And implies that he gets a you know what. And yeah. Wow. Just
Dude, could you imagine the conversation that teacher probably had to have with the administration?
dude, seriously.
Like, make a call like, yo, there's some messed up shit in this movie.
And dude, have you seen any of like the behind the scenes stuff with this movie?
I have not.
So Dr. Seuss's widow was her name Audrey Geisel, I think was her name. I think that was her name. After she saw this movie, she's like, I knew that Mike Myers was going to turn the Cat in the Hat dirty. And after this movie, she's like, yep, nope, no more live action adaptations of my husband's work. Never again. And like, it was a good, like, I think almost 10 years before she decided to let them do another adaptation with Horton Hears a Who. And that was animated.
Dude,
So,
good call on her part.
seriously.
Like that would be something. It's like the Seuss family needs to approve any and all adaptations of this work.
Like, did you ever see like I think it came out in the 90s, like the television movie that they did for the Cat in the Hat?
I did not.
Okay. So they kind of did like what they did with the Grinch. They did a TV movie adaptation. Way better than this one, of course, not surprisingly. But it's still not perfect. And what I find funny is the Thing's voices are so high in this one. Like and you know what, that kind of makes sense. In the animated special, they are freaking like Lawrence Fishburne levels of low. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, that's not how I pictured Thing 1 and Thing 2 sounding.
Somehow that's so much funnier than them having like super high pitched voices.
Oh no, it is funny. Oh shit. But yeah, no, still to this day we don't have a like I'll take that adaptation way more over this one, even though I rewatched this one and as you can see, on occasion every couple of years I will rewatch this movie because there's something wrong with me. Just I hope one day we get a good adaptation of the Cat in the Hat, one that actually understands the book and just sticks to the damn source material. I mean, come on, it's not that hard.
It isn't, dude. It is not. And what's messed up too is that, I mean, we've gotten adaptations of Horton Hears a Who, the Lorax. We've gotten multiple iterations of the Grinch. Like, there are so many stories of Dr. Seuss that could have worked really well in the animated world.
Mhm.
Like I personally feel like a lot of his stories would make really good shorts.
Absolutely.
Like,
Excuse me.
I'm trying to. What's the one with like the creatures with like the star belly or whatever?
Oh, is that Sneetches?
Yes,
Okay.
but I think that one has like a different name.
Yeah, I forget.
Gosh, I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Because recently, didn't like Netflix do like a limited series for like Green Eggs and Ham?
Yes,
Okay.
and I don't know how that works as a freaking show. I don't think Dr. Seuss like goes well with shows.
That's fair. Dude, it's
Oh, so
honestly
I
insane.
guess it's just called the Sneetches.
Oh, it's just Sneetches?
Yeah.
Dude, freaking some of the stuff that they've cooked up with when it comes to Dr. Seuss stuff, like I remember, I think it was either in the early '90s or yeah, like '90s or 2000s when they came out with the TV movie, the Cat in the Hat versus the Grinch. I'm like, okay, like I get you want to take your like arguably your two most popular Dr. Seuss characters, but like from what I remember, like yeah, they like argue and stuff, but there's never like freaking like them throwing punches at each other.
Yeah, that's odd. But yeah, like I think the Sneetches would make a really good short. Green Eggs and Ham would make a really good animated short. Oh, The Places You'll Go. Like that would be a really good short.
Dude, I would love to see that.
Yeah, I mean that would be that one I'd say would be more of like an extended short, like as a solid 15 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean the big ones are like Cat in the Hat, The Grinch. Like we've already had adaptations of The Grinch, but Cat in the Hat needs an adaptation.
Yeah. One that actually understands the damn book.
Yeah. I mean, when you think Dr. Seuss, it's my mind instantly goes to that damn cat.
Yeah. No, like, seriously, that is the staple Dr. Seuss character.
Yeah, like it's in terms of like iconic Dr. Seuss characters, it's the Cat in the Hat, then the Grinch, and then like Horton, Lorax, and it gets a little iffy from there. But number one, like I always think of the damn cat.
Yeah.
So they
No one can get it right.
nope.
And the fact that when was the last time we watched this movie?
I'll be 100% real. I think I've only seen this movie one time.
Wow.
And that was maybe a month or two after it came on, like out in to Blockbuster.
Wow, it's been that long. Wow.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, and I remember hating that movie.
It's yeah, dude, I don't blame you. It's a horrible adaptation. But like at the end, there is a like once the house is restored and everything, and the cat leaves, you see him walking down the street with the things, like doing their thing, had things doing their thing, doing flips and shit. And he's just like, oh, what do you say we go on vacation? Let's go to Hawaii. And it teases the sequel, The Cat in the Hat comes back. Thank God that didn't happen.
Oh man, dude, I don't know who in their right mind thought that Mike Myers was the right fit for this.
Yeah, I don't know either, but just oh my God, just horrible casting.
Just for shits and giggles, who is your ideal Cat in the Hat voice? Because obviously we're not going to get a live action adaptation, but who would be your like ideal voice?
That's hard. Can you think of any? Do you have one? Well,
I have an unconventional one.
All right, what do you think?
Tom Hiddleston.
I don't hate that. That's not a bad choice.
Like I've always like kind of with all of Dr. Seuss's characters, I've always kind of pictured them with like an accent of some kind.
Dude, the more I think of it, the more I don't hate that. I actually really like that casting.
Yeah. Like I would either give it to like if they're going for like because you know damn well that that's what they're going to do. They're going to go with like an A-lister.
True, yeah.
So yeah, I would give that to Tom Hiddleston, and then if they were going for someone that maybe not quite as well, I mean I know he's well known now, but I would also think Alan Tudyk would do a good job.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be a great voice. I just put it into my head and now I can't get it out. Owen Wilson as the Cat in the Hat.
Oh
It wouldn't.
damn! Oh damn! Dude, that wouldn't not work.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Oh man, dude. You might have hit it right on the head.
Oh god. All right, Illumination. We got your next Dr. Seuss project. Start calling up Owen Wilson right now.
Damn, then who do you get for I mean, well personally in my like ideal adaptation, Thing 1 and Thing 2 wouldn't talk.
I agree. Like, yeah, they'd make noises. Or would they make noises?
I'd say yes to noise. Like noises at least, but
Okay.
I don't think they would talk. Like,
Yeah.
I think that they would talk into like the Cat in the Hat's ear,
Ooh, I like that.
but I don't think that they would like talk. But if they did, that is one where I think you'd have to do something funny. And
Yeah.
I don't and I don't think the high pitched voice is going to be quite as funny. I would personally go exactly what you said with like a Lawrence Fishburne.
How about Lawrence Fishburne as one, Samuel L. Jackson as the other?
That would be hilarious.
There we go. But Jackson has to be in Thing 1. Like, actually, wait, no, it'd be funnier if he was Thing 2. Just him bitching about why does he have to be the second one? Kind of like this movie has horrible jokes, but the whole joke with how Thing 2 is just like, oh, don't call me Thing 2, call me Thing A, just going through all these. Then Thing 1 chimes in with the he's Thing 1 for a reason, and people just need to get used to it.
Dude, you know who'd be a really funny duo would be Lawrence Fishburne and James Earl Jones.
Oh, dude. Yes,
so it's like you
please.
get Thing 1 as like a really deep voice, and then Thing 2 as an even deeper voice.
Dude, this would be amazing.
Like straight up Mufasa level. Dude, that'd be some funny shit.
That would be amazing. I'll have to send you the clip of Thing 1 and Thing 2 being introduced from the special, because it takes you're just like, oh shit, okay, wow. Wasn't expecting that.
Oh man. Yeah, we'd have way too much fun with voice casting.
Dude,
that one.
we would. This one would be so much fun. But yeah, so obviously the Cat in the Hat gets a don't bother. Like it's a movie that's like so bad, it's like kind of somewhat watchable and enjoyable, but it's still don't bother. don't put yourself through a horrible adaptation of arguably next to the Grinch, the best Dr. Seuss book.
This is one that I would only say would deserve a nothing better to do if you have some sort of nostalgic tie to it.
Yeah,
If
that's
you're
fair.
if you're going into this movie new, like kind of how I would be. Like I'd be going into this like not remembering anything about this movie and just like basically going in blind.
Mhm.
And the like anyone who's brand new to this movie, absolutely a don't bother.
Yeah, very much so. All right,
But yeah,
next. Oh, sorry.
no, you're good. You're good.
Next up, I rewatched The World's End, which, if you guys haven't seen any of the, I guess they call it the Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost trilogy. I think it has a different name, but I'm just gonna say that because you have this, you have Shaun of the Dead, and then Hot Fuzz. This is my favorite out of the three. I freaking love this movie, and I hadn't seen it probably since like it came out. So like when I was in high school, and yeah, rewatching it, loved it all over again. I love these group of guys. A group of guys that they were best friends in high school. Of course, it happens to some friend groups. You guys get separated after high school, and you kind of don't really talk to each other a lot. Thankfully, that didn't happen to me and Caleb. But someone decides, oh hey, let's get the band back together, and then shit hits the fan, chaos ensues. And like they turn this into like an alien invasion movie, and it's really fun. But like the whole pub crawl thing is super hilarious. All five of these guys are so funny. And yeah, and I love British humor. I think it's freaking hilarious. So like there are some jokes that I'm just like, okay, yeah, I definitely couldn't say that in the States. But I'll laugh at it a little bit. But yeah, no, just this is a solid comedy with an amazing cast, and like honestly, I hate that I waited so long to rewatch it because yeah, it's so freaking good, so freaking good. I can't remember. Have you seen this one, Caleb?
I have seen this one.
Okay.
So I actually rewatched it. I want to say a few months ago.
Hell yeah.
And then I remember watching this one with you, and I loved it both times. I thought it was freaking great.
Right.
And even
So good.
even the rewatch, I was like, this movie's really good. But I have not seen Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz.
Okay.
So those are definitely on my watch list, especially if it's the same like team.
Like Shaun of the Dead is really good. I don't think I don't know. I didn't find Hot Fuzz that funny. Maybe I really should just give it a rewatch. But my opinion. But with that, we would definitely give this a $5 Tuesday recommendation. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen this, please check it out. It's a great comedy. It's a great buddy comedy.
Oh yeah.
And then the last that I watched this week was Masterminds. Like comedies based on true events, like that's an interesting idea. And like if it's like I get like you want to tell the source, you want to take the source material seriously because it did actually happen, but you also want it to be funny. And I don't know, with this one I feel it like it tries to make it too funny, and for the most time it fails for me. It's just way too many jokes. It's supposed to be a comedy, but just too many jokes don't land for me. So
Yeah.
I think it's just all right. So if you're kind of looking for like a like a not great comedy but with a pretty decent cast, like this cast is really trying to make this work. I'd at least maybe give it a watch. Definitely not worth seeing in the theaters. And I'm glad I did not see it in the theaters.
I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Like, I liked it.
I'm
Like, I thought it
kidding.
was funny, and like, but yeah, it's definitely not one that was 100% worth admission.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, it was all right.
I
I think my only like favorite part is the awkward pictures that Zach Galifianakis and shit
Kate
that
McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon did. That is my
Yes.
favorite part. Really makes me want to go take awkward family photos. But yeah, everything else
man.
is like super forgettable. Like I forgot freaking Jason Sudeikis is in this.
Yeah, he's a very I've never seen him play this kind of role. Like it's still like, like the quirky, funny Jason Sudeikis, but like it's definitely a different version of him, and he's definitely one of the more enjoyable parts of it. Zach Galifianakis, I feel he is really trying in this movie to make it work. And he's definitely like, to me, like the best part of the movie.
Easily.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, he's working with a broken deck there.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's all right. We're gonna give it a nothing better to do recommendation. Just if you're like really looking for a comedy that like you'll get a few chuckles out of, maybe check it out. But like, definitely don't go running to your nearest Voodoo account to rent or buy this.
Is that what you watched it on? You watch it on Vudu?
No, actually, where did I find it? So I had actually gotten a copy of it like in the $5 bin years ago, but I'd never opened it. So I was scrolling through I was looking through my movies, and I noticed that, and I was like, wait, really? I've never watched that before. So I popped it in, and yeah, I'm glad I only paid $5 for it.
Photos were awesome. Yeah, that was easily the best scene.
Yes. Yeah, I'll have to
I'd
see
say
if it has
that, and when he freaking shoots down his ass crack. Like that was one of my
that was
favorite
funny
scenes too. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, it's not anything to write home about. It's alright.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to sum it up. It's alright.
It's alright. All right. Anything else on Weekly Watch?
No, I got nothing.
All right.
Well, wow, sorry. I was like, wait, why isn't Caleb talking? Duh, Jonathan, it's because you're in charge of this episode. Well, moving on from Weekly Watches, Caleb, what do you say we get into our headliner of the evening?
I say let's do it.
Hell yeah. All right, so with this headliner for this week, we will be breaking down Wonka, which, oh God, just this movie. That's how we're going to start this out. This movie.
Such a gem.
Such a gem. But we, unfortunately, we did not post a question of the week, but that's okay.
Yeah, I've had way too much shit going on this week.
Yeah. Sorry, and I'm sorry. I should have offered to post it. Apologies.
Yeah, you're fine.
But I am curious, off the top of your head, can you think of a Wonka candy that you would want to try?
Ooh. Okay, this is a freaking throwback to the OG. I wanted so badly to try the flavored wallpaper.
Ooh, okay. I'd never heard someone say that when it comes to Wonka stuff. Dude, nice answer. I like that.
Yeah, that's always been one that's just like anytime I've seen that scene, I'm just like, gosh, that looks freaking cool. Like I would love that. Yeah, so the tasting paper,
Solid.
and I gotta say, probably the fizzy lifting drink too.
Yes. Dude, freaking Grandpa Joe like giving Willy Wonka shit. It was just like, what is wrong with you? It's like, dude, you stole. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell is wrong with you? And you're giving Willy Wonka shit?
Dude, straight up.
I can't. I think it's in the original Willy Wonka, but like when one of the kids breaks open, I think it looks like a jellied pumpkin, and they break it open. The stuff that came out of that, I always wanted to try. That looked really good.
Like the freaking jelly looking shit.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah, I'm
both
with you
chocolate
there.
rooms, or just both candy rooms in both Willy Wonka and Charlie, all of the shit looked good. Like, you definitely wanted to try it all.
Oh yeah, definitely, dude.
I really wanted to try that chocolate from the Chocolate River in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That shit looked like the creamiest chocolate that you could ever have.
Yeah, no joke there. I'm trying to think if there's like anything else. Like I was never one to be like, ooh, I'd love to try one of those everlasting gobstoppers.
Same.
Like I was just kind of like, okay. Like they look, I don't know. I don't know. It just seemed like it looked rubbery.
Yeah. I think the gum that would like turn into a full course meal, that actually sounded really cool.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
For sure. But I'm still not a very big gum person.
All right.
So that was never super intriguing to me. And then, yeah, I think for me, it was always the wallpaper.
That's fair.
Yeah. What was yours?
It was like the jelly stuff that came out of
yeah.
what I forget what the hell. It's been a good while since I've seen the original Willy Wonka. I really need to go back and revisit that. But can we agree that we both definitely wanted to try Mrs. Bucket's cabbage soup?
No.
Oh, come on. Nothing goes better with cabbage than cabbage. Like, come on.
Dude, there's nothing I dislike less than cabbage.
Really?
Yeah.
So you will not eat corned beef and cabbage on St. Patrick's Day?
I do not like corned beef and cabbage.
Okay.
That is my least favorite thing to eat.
Wow. Okay.
Like so much so that has almost turned me off to most like Irish foods.
Okay.
Like, do you have a food type or just like a food from a certain culture that you just are drawn more towards? Whether it be like Mexican food, Italian, or whatever.
I don't know. Probably, I guess Italian, just because there's so much with there's so many entrees with almost the exact same sauce that you can't really go wrong. And they all taste so freaking good. So I guess I would say Italian.
Yeah, I am not like super drawn to Italian because I don't care for the pasta.
Oh, okay.
And maybe it's just because there was like a really long span of time where we were eating like nothing but pasta. And so anytime we eat pasta now, I'm just like, I'm good.
That's funny because like pasta is like top 3 favorite dishes for me. That's funny.
Yeah, but I find myself drawn to Japanese food.
Ooh, okay.
Like that style. Like I will eat like ramen over like spaghetti pasta any day of the week.
Okay.
And I don't know what it like I could eat. I feel like I could eat just a stupid amount of ramen.
I mean, dude, Top Ramen is some good shit. I don't care what anyone says. People are just like, oh, but it's for college students. It's for if you're poor. Who gives a shit It's some good stuff.
It's like, okay, obviously someone hasn't checked my bank account. I
Yeah.
am poor.
Same. And like, I don't care about the sodium, don't care about that kind of shit. If it tastes good and it fills me up, who cares?
Yeah. My sister-in-law, she she is she's a punk for doing
Oh
this to
no.
me. We went and hung out with her um in California one time. It was like, I want to say it was right before Iris was born. But we went to California to go visit, and she took us to this ramen joint that was just the shit. It was
Ooh.
so good. And I was like, gosh damn it, this might have ruined top ramen for me. And sure as shit, as soon as I come home, because I didn't do anything like super crazy with my ramen. Like
Mm.
it was just the normal, like the packets. And
Yeah.
then I would put in like a little garlic powder and a little onion powder, and that was it.
Dude, I've never even done that. That sounds amazing.
It's pretty freaking good. Like I don't
I'm
like
gonna
you
have to
just
try that.
sprinkle like a little bit on top.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try that.
Like what I would do is, like, when I would sprinkle it, I just do like a lap around the pot
Okay.
with it. So I mean, obviously getting like a good amount, but I just do like a quick one, like do that with both of them, and then I'd put it in a little soy sauce too. And so that
Ooh.
was the maximum amount of stuff that I would do to my ramen. Like now, like after that, I always put in an egg.
Ooh, okay.
So what I'll do
Dude,
is
that's
I'll
good.
separate the egg whites and the yolk. I'll put the raw yolk in whatever bowl I'm going to use,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll keep the egg whites out until I'm like maybe like 10 minutes away from like being done, like cooking my ramen. So I'll dump the egg whites in, wait till those are all cooked up, and then while the ramen's like super hot, I'll pour it on right on top of the yolk, and it'll cook the yolks like perfection. And they're still
Ooh.
runny, like they're freaking fantastic. But yeah, I go freaking nuts with it now. And I don't know if she meant it as a joke or what, but she sent me like the cup of noodles, and it was like their hot and spicy chicken. Dude, that stuff is the bomb.
Really? Okay.
It's so freaking good. I'm like, gosh damn it. Yeah, like she is now like the freaking noodle queen.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like she has not led me astray when it comes to ramen.
That is awesome. I love that.
Yeah, like she sent that to me. That was like my Christmas gift, and I freaking love it.
Oh, that's so great.
Like I don't like cup of noodles either. So I just kind of was like, oh, that's funny, ha ha ha, and kind of set it aside. And I wasn't planning on eating it, but it was like really late, and I wanted something quick, so I was just like, screw it, why not? Like I got these noodles, made the cup of noodle and everything, and tasted it. I'm like, God damn it. Like this is actually really freaking good. Like it's the worst, but it's like that level of spicy where like while you're eating it, the spice doesn't like kick in until after you're done. And
Oh,
so it's
okay.
like, and it's so good. But yeah, I was so pissed. I'm just like, gosh damn it.
Oh man.
Yeah, so now I'm wanting to try making like quick ramen, like the mason jar cup of noodles for work and shit.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, I was pissed at her.
Dude, you're gonna become a ramen connoisseur before you know it.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm attracted to that kind of stuff. I think it's the egg noodle versus like the flour noodle.
Yeah.
I think that's the big difference. Like flour's just I think it's just too heavy for me, where the egg noodle is, I mean, I don't even know if there's technically a difference between like a ramen noodle and like a pasta noodle.
Yeah, you got me.
But here, I'm going to look real quick. Ramen noodle versus pasta noodle. Oh, they're not entirely different.
Wow.
Both are made with wheat flour and water. However, ramen noodles include one extra ingredient called kansui, which gives the noodles their unique flavor and color. Okay, so maybe... So whatever the kansui is, that's the magic ingredient.
That's oh, that's funny.
Anyway, now I'm done talking about noodles now.
Oh my. All right.
I don't even remember how we got on that.
Yeah, I don't either. You got me, man. You got me.
Oh man, isn't that the shit?
Yeah. Anyway, getting into our headliner, Caleb, you want to let people know how we break down movies on this podcast?
I would love to. If you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies up into 8 different categories that we individually score to come to a final All Bros letter grade. The 8 categories that we score are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then we give it our own personal score at the very end. All of those numbers get magically added up and spit through our algorithm and give us a letter grade to compare this movie to others of a similar grade. And yeah, it also gives us a percentage so we can see an official ranking, but that's not quite as important as the letter grade itself. So if you have not seen Wonka, this might be a hard one to spoil, but we are going to be spoiling it.
Yes.
So we will be posting that spoiler now. So yeah, if you listen beyond this point and anything about Wonka is spoiled for you, that's on you. So with that, Rose will be reading off the synopsis for the entire film in our favorite segment that we like to call Reading with Rose.
All right. Willy Wonka, an aspiring magician, inventor, and chocolatier, arrives in Europe to establish his chocolate shop at the Galleries Gourmet. Burning through his meager savings, he is coerced to stay at Mrs. Scrubbett's boarding house by her henchman Bleacher, and despite Orphan Noodle's warning about the fine print, signs a contract because he is illiterate. To pay them off, Wonka introduces Hover Chocks, chocolate that makes people fly, facing mockery from 3 rival chocolatiers who called the chief of police to confiscate his earnings for selling without a chocolate store. Unable to pay the exorbitant fees imposed on him by the contract, Wonka is captured and starts to work in a laundrette for Mrs. Scrubbett alongside 5 other captives, including Noodle. Learning of a chocolate cartel consisting of the rival chocolatiers who exploit the chief's weakness for chocolate to force Wonka to leave town. Wonka makes his escape with the help of Noodle. While he promises her a lifetime supply of chocolates, she promises to teach him how to read. Wonka tells Noodle that his affinity for chocolate stems from his late mother and mentions the theft of his chocolates by an enigmatic, I think that's the word, enigmatic orange man who has been stealing them for years. To produce his signature chocolate, Wonka and Noodle travel to the local zoo, milking Abigail the giraffe. Together with other laundrette workers, they embark on a chocolate-selling crusade to alleviate their debts while using tunnels underneath the city to evade Scrubbett and the chief. Unmasking an Oompa Loompa named Lofty as the thief, Wonka discovers that the Oompa Loompa seeks retribution for the cocoa beans Wonka took from Loompaland years ago under Lofty's watch before he escapes by duping Wonka. Using the funds raised from selling chocolates, the captives open Wonka's dream chocolate store. The chief and the chocolate cartel, now unable to arrest him since he has a legitimate shop, expose him to Scrubbett, infusing his chocolates with Yeti sweat with Yeti sweat. Oh my god. Sorry. The chief and the chocolate cartel, now unable to arrest him since he has a legitimate shop, expose him to Scrubbit, infusing his chocolates with Yeti sweat. Scrubbit incites chaos among the customers, leading to the destruction of Wonka's store. Wonka agrees to the cartel's offer to leave town by ship to pay off everyone's debts. All of the workers are released from the laundrette except Noodle. Cartel leader Slugworth pays Scrubbit to keep her indefinitely. Wonka deduces that Noodle is Slugworth's niece before he and Lofty are forced to jump off the boat that has been rigged to explode. After rescuing Noodle with the help of the group, they devise a strategy to obtain the cartel's incriminating account book. Taking advantage of Abigail's distraction, Wonka and Noodle infiltrate the cartel's base. They are confronted by the cartel, who reveal that Noodle, who was reported dead to her mother Dorothy, was left by Slugworth to Scrubbit in order to eliminate her claim to the family fortune. The cartel attempts to drown Wonka and Noodle in chocolate, but Wonka enables Lofty to rescue them and unveils the cartel's misdeeds to the authorities and the public. They release the cartel's chocolate reserve through a fountain laced with Wonka's unique ingredients, ruining the cartel's enterprise. The cartel meets their downfall, and the police arrest the chief. The crowd revels in tasting Wonka's chocolate fountain, and Wonka unwraps the last chocolate bar his mother had given him. Wow. The crowd revels in tasting Wonka's chocolate fountain, and Wonka unwraps the last chocolate bar his mother had given him, discovering a golden paper with a message that says, "What matters is who you share the chocolate with." He aids Noodle in reuniting with Dorothy, settles his debt with Lofty, and acquires an abandoned castle to commence building his own factory with Lofty as his tasting chef. In an epilogue, the captives return to their old lives, and Scrubbit and Bleacher are arrested after their attempt to eliminate evidence of sabotaging Wonka's shop backfires.
All right. Oh, man, dude.
This was so good. Oh, my God. Yeah, I definitely struggle with that one, Sam. I can understand why you loved that one. Them some big words. But yeah, anyway, like, I know that no one was, like, freaking clawing or scratching for a Wonka origin story. No one was. But what they were able to cook up here, like, it works so well. Just, oh my God, from the, like, and we'll get with this with the music, but like the first song that starts when the movie starts with "Hat Full of Dreams," and the way that it introduces us to Willy Wonka and his dreams, his ambitions. I appreciate that, Sam. Thank you. I appreciate you defending me. Love you, Stacy, if you're listening. Just seeing Wonka's dreams, ambitions, and throughout, just seeing what he has to go through to like actually get to where he wants his chocolate to be, having his own shop, being able to create what he literally has cooked up in his mind, and just the characters that follow along the way, Noodle, all the other people that work at the laundrette, especially the chocolate cartel. Like, oh my God, just I can't say enough good about this story. It works so goddamn well.
Dude, it absolutely did. Like, it set up its A story and its B story like so well.
Mm-hmm.
And followed them to a natural conclusion that didn't feel forced on either end.
Nope.
Like, that was the biggest pro here.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't sure how I knew like the ultimate goal was to get to the point of him owning a factory.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that was more than likely going to be the end goal. Where with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, we get him oh gosh damn it, what's the word? We get him like retiring, and then in this one, like, we're just getting to the point where he's beginning.
Yeah.
And like I think that's where all of us kind of assumed we'd ultimately end up.
Yeah, and like that scene alone, like freaking when he like just the way that they did that, like it's all just building out as he's singing Pure Imagination. I was smiling the whole time. Like this is just amazing.
Dude, when he first started singing that, chills.
Dude, right?
I was like,
Oh
dude,
my god.
I knew the song was coming because like you hear the tune at the
Yeah.
beginning, so I'm like, okay, so we are going to be getting Pure Imagination
Yeah.
in this song or in this movie at some point. And the freaking build up, dude. Like you knew damn well it was coming. I was just like, oh yes, yes, yeah. And then as soon as he started singing, I was like, ah.
I just love how it like finishes up two stories in the song. Like you get the tie up with Noodle and her discovering her mom at the and finding her mom at the beginning, and then the rest of the song is Willy Wonka telling Lofty, the Oompa Loompa, about what he wants to create with his chocolate factory, and him trying to convince him to come along, and he is convinced. Just yeah, it's just so freaking good. Like oh my god.
Dude, it was really, really well executed. Like I think that's the biggest pro here.
Mm-hmm.
It was excellently executed.
And like honestly, the fact that because Paul King is his name, right? Who directed this?
I want to say yes.
Um, if you look at his track record, freaking first two Paddingtons, like you had a feeling that he could do something like this. But the fact that he could make it as magical as I feel the Gene Wilder version is, and just you truly feel like you're in a world of pure imagination with this movie. And I'm glad that I decided to go see this in XD because
Oh man, I'm so jealous.
it was so worth it, dude. It was so worth it. And the fact that like it was I think like it was an old couple in front of me and then like a couple behind me that were the only ones in the theater, and no one talked, no one had their cell phones out. It was like one of the best movie theater experiences I've ever had.
I
Dude,
love that you have to say that. Oh, basically, no one was in here, and it was great.
So someone pointed out, and they've got a point here. When you go to see a movie in like a kind of like a higher format, like XD IMAX, you're usually going with people that actually know, like, they want to go, they want to pay the extra money. They actually know theater etiquette. They're not going to talk during the movie, be on their phone for half the time, shit like that. These people are, they're paying the extra money to actually sit down and watch the thing that they paid the money for. And yeah, they're not wrong. Because like I said, no one had their phones out, no one talked. It was freaking great. But yeah, freaking seeing the visuals of Wonka on that big of a screen, especially the ending, like the last 20 minutes, or I guess like the last 10 minutes when the factory is being built around him, like that alone is worth the extra money, in my opinion, because like I said, I could not like wipe the smile off my face that I was having when he was singing Pure Imagination to Lofty, right? That's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just man. God, I love this movie. I love this movie.
Dude, it's so good. Man, like I said, it's just the structure of it that they were able to build. Like I think that they could have easily gone either route of like diluting the main plot line or like with the whole laundromat thing, and they could have like really heavily diluted, like they could have just thrown that like the laundromat situation in. Like that's what I was kind of afraid that they were going to do when he was talking about like his escape plan, more or less, on like what that whole situation was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought like, oh, now this is just a something that's not going to come up ever again, like, or maybe like the whole in like the debt thing, like that's going to come to play later. But I wasn't expecting it to be as such a big part as it was, or as it turned out being.
Yeah, no, see, and I definitely didn't expect the rest of the laundrette prisoners or whatever you want to call them to have such a big part in Wonka's story of like him actually being able to open his first shop. That was
Yeah,
really
that
cool.
that was way cool, and just like tied in those two stories damn near flawlessly.
Yeah.
And honestly, I shouldn't be surprised. I mean, you said it was Paul King that
Mhm.
directed this.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he did the first two Paddingtons, those movies are gems.
Yeah. I still haven't seen the second one, but yeah, the first one is so freaking good.
Yeah, watch the second one for sure.
I
dude.
think I'm gonna watch it this week. I'm definitely going to do it because yeah, this guy knows how to direct like really, really well.
Yeah, like he is. I don't know if it's just because he's adapting Roald Dahl situation or movies or like storylines. I think Paddington's a Roald Dahl, right?
I don't think it is. I could be wrong though.
I'm gonna look
If it
real
is though,
quick.
I want him to do more Royal Doll stuff.
It does look like it.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Okay.
nope. I lied.
Huh.
It's someone Michelle Bond.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah. What was I getting at? Yeah, he's able to. I would love to see him do an adaptation of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Dude, same here.
Like now that we've gotten this, like I'm like, dude, do a full freaking trilogy. I like make it a
Yes.
trilogy. Like do the Willy Wonka and then do what happens with Charlie after he takes over. Like
I'd be very just because I feel it's a hard one to do. I would be very interested to see his take on Charlie and the Great. Was it Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator? I think that was the sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I'm not familiar with that story.
It's weird. It's very weird. But if anyone could pull it off, I think Paul King could.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see him do a take on the classic Willy Wonka story.
Yes, absolutely.
Like I wouldn't even be mad if they did same like Timothy Chalamet for that as well.
Dude, I wouldn't either because I mean I'm gonna save my opinion with him for acting.
Yeah. Spoiler alert: we loved him.
I'm curious. Did you take Iris to this with you?
I was going to, but so Brielle wanted to take Iris to go to a craft store today and just go run a couple other errands and like go hit up McDonald's and whatever. And so I offered to take her, and she's like, well, I know it's like a family friendly movie, but it's not like really a kid, like it's not aimed towards little kids. And I was like, I mean, it's a musical though. And I regret not taking her.
Yeah, that would have been really. I think she would have loved it. Like I think she would have definitely been up in her seat dancing around.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
dude, absolutely. Like she would have been like she would have gone crazy for this movie.
especially that. I would have loved to see her her dancing to the Oompa Loompa song.
Oh
That'd
my
be
gosh,
so
dude.
adorable.
There's no way that she wouldn't have.
Yeah, that'd be so adorable.
But yeah, I mean, the story was just so well put together. I have like super close to no complaints over the story.
Same here, dude. Same here.
Where are you sitting?
I am really freaking high. Personally, I think I'm gonna be at 96.
I think I'm going the opposite end of the 90s. Actually, I might be a little lower. I think I'm going 93.
Okay.
Like I'm still really high,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to think of like any like story issues I had, but
Like even like the Chocolate Cartel
I
really
know.
worked well. And I can't just because it's been a while since I've seen Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I know of Slugworth, that's definitely a staple of Willy Wonka. But were the other two in
I don't remember them.
Okay. They got quite the name, Fiddle something, and I forget the other one.
Yeah.
Like-
Wait, Slugworth. Who was that? The freaking dude that like was hitting up the kids?
Hit.
Like who's
Oh yeah,
Slugworth in the OG?
yeah. Slugworth is the one that he remember it's I think after Charlie finds his golden ticket and he's running through the tunnel and very creepily Slugworth just comes out of the shadows and is tells Charlie like, oh hey, when you go to the factory, be sure to find any secret recipes you can find of Willy Wonka's and pocket them for me, and if you give them to me, I will make your family rich beyond their wildest dreams. I will make it worth your while if you steal from Wonka for me.
Okay. So he was like the Nazi looking dude.
Yep. Yeah. That's Slugworth.
That's how I remember him.
No, dude, seriously. And dude, I've loved every iteration of him. He was fantastic in this one. He was great in Willy Wonka, and even in Charlie. Even though he doesn't really get too, I feel like he has the least amount to do in Charlie.
Oh, yeah.
Because like literally there's just one part where a guy comes out of the factory that was a worker and hands him an envelope of a certain recipe, and then you see him, I think he either does like the everlasting bubble gum or like the ice cream that will never melt. Does one of those. But now thinking about it, with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I'm wondering if the other two that do, because there was the ice cream that would never melt, the gum that would never lose its flavor. I forget the other one. I'm wondering if the other two were actually the two other Chocolate Cartel members. If those were the two.
Could have been.
I need to watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory again. Because yeah, now I'm very curious.
Dude, wasn't Slugsworth or at least in the OG, the Gene Wilder one, wasn't he like someone that worked with Willy Wonka? Gosh, I need to rewatch this
I can't
movie.
remember. Yeah, I do too. I can't remember.
Yeah, don't be surprised if Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is on my weekly watch next week.
We should do like one does Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the other one does Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, that'd be funny. But yeah, all right. Moving on over to writing.
Just as good.
This one I would actually say a little lower. Not
Really?
much. Not
Okay.
much.
All right.
Any writing issues that I had were 100% due to Keegan-Michael Key's character.
Okay, you know what okay. Yeah, you know what, I can agree with that.
He felt very unnecessary.
Yeah. The fact that he doesn't even actually have a name, he's just chief of police.
Yeah.
Like, they don't give him a last name, nothing. Like, okay. Which
just kind of showed how little care they
which
gave him.
Not like he's great in it. He definitely does a great job with what he's given. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. He the writing for him definitely is very unnecessary. I'm sure that they could have found a different way for the Chocolate Cartel to take out Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
They didn't need the middleman here.
Nope. Not even a little bit. Like, I don't know. I think maybe like you could have gotten Bleacher to kind of be the like that guy.
I agree, because if it's discovered that they were working with Mrs. Scrubbit, for quite a while, like ever since, like the thing that happened with Noodle. So yeah, you think that they'd come back into business with each other to when they find out about Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally, I feel like he could have been written out very easily.
No, dude, I gotta agree with you.
Yeah, but I mean, but that doesn't affect my writing score too bad. It does knock it down a few points
All right.
because I mean, even though I felt he was unnecessary, he wasn't unnecessary to the film. He
Okay.
still
Yeah.
he still played an important role. It's just he could have been rewritten to be not part of the film.
Yeah. I do have a question for you with the writing. When it comes, because when it comes to Willy Wonka, Willy Wonka needs his Oompa Loompa. Like that's how it always has been. But at all, do you wish that the Oompa Loompa was written in like a different way? Do you feel that like he felt unnecessary? You wanted more from the Oompa Loompas?
It made sense why he was in it.
Okay.
And I do agree. Like you kind of need to include his origins with the Oompa Loompas.
Mhm.
And I think I like this version a lot better than like how they handled them in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, so the Johnny Depp one.
Yes.
Okay.
I like this one where it's like, oh, they're just these people that are obsessed with chocolate. And so that's why they come to basically live in Willy Wonka's factory. And so I really like that aspect of it.
Wasn't technically in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, isn't that how they are too? Like they're obsessed with the cocoa bean. So Willy
Yes,
Wonka
but it's
offers
like he
them.
wanted to pay them in cocoa beans. Where
Oh yeah,
this, it's like, oh no, he just wants to pay them being like chocolate tasters. I don't know. Kind of the
no,
same
you got a
thing,
point
kind
there.
of not. I mean, I thought it was better handled here.
No, it's fair. No, dude, I get that.
But yeah, I think this is something I went in wanting the Oompa Loompa or Lofty to be in this a lot more than he was. So I went into the movie thinking that I wanted the Oompa Loompas in this a significant amount. How much he was in it was just right for me.
I agree.
And it's because they did such a good job at building up the character of Noodle.
Yes. Seriously though, like what's and I get why, because you want to sell that like, oh hey, this is the origin movie of Willy Wonka and the Oompa Loompas. So it felt like 70 to 80% of the screen time of Lofty is in the trailers. Like there's barely anything new with him, but Noodle was barely shown at all in the trailers, and the story that you get with her and the connection that you get between her and Willy Wonka, it's like a brother sister situation, and I loved it so much.
Dude, agreed. Like I don't think it could have been better put together.
Agreed.
Like the Lofty as the Oompa Loompa was in it enough. And he was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
when he was on screen. And
like
yeah,
Hugh Grant killed it, but Hugh Grant kills it in everything he does. So
I wouldn't say that. I think so. He went through his like heartthrob stage where he was doing a lot of dramatic romance movies.
right, yeah.
And he was always like the very dry character. Like if there was a joke, he wasn't the one making it. And so
Right,
seeing him take on a role like this, and so I'm like, dude, I've been seeing him in a bunch of shit lately. Like I was telling Brielle this, I was just like, it's weird seeing like Hugh Grant because I used to hate him.
Really?
Yeah, like I avoided most movies that included Hugh Grant.
Interesting.
now I freaking love him because of how funny he is as an actor. Like I'm just going through real quick some of his movies. Yeah, I mean Paddington 2 was good, Wonka, Dungeons and Dragons, like these were all like solid movies, and then it's just like some of his other ones were not good. Like the Bridget Jones Diaries,
What about
Notting Hill,
did you ever
Love
watch Love?
Actually.
I was just about to say, did you not like Love Actually?
I liked Love Actually. I didn't like
Okay.
him in Love Actually.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, like some of his other stuff, like his younger stuff, where it was, I don't know, maybe I just haven't been seeing the right stuff of his, but I like him better when he's being goofy.
I can agree with that because like the two roles that I think these were his only two roles, at least that I know from this year, were his role in Dungeons and Dragons, and then here both I enjoyed quite a bit.
Oh yeah, I loved his performance in Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, I am, just because I feel like the chief of police could have been rewritten. Honestly, I think you could have taken it out and just had the cartel paying off the police. Like I don't think you needed like a full-blown freaking character. And I think you could have done some funny shit with that. Like maybe the entire police force just ended up getting fat.
Yeah,
That would have been kind of funny.
Yeah, I would have
Versus
enjoyed that.
just one. But I don't know. I think he could have been dealt with differently. So that's dropping me from a 93 to a 90.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely agree. It does drop me a few points. So I think I'll drop the. I think I'll match your story score. So I'll go 93.
All right. Next up, we got acting. Which, oh boy.
So many great performances here.
Dude. So you want to go through them?
I would love to. So we got first the man himself, Mr. Timothy Chalamet, who played Willy Wonka. We have, I hope I say this right, Calla?
That's how I pronounce it.
So Calla Lane, who played Noodle. Keegan-Michael Key, who played the chief of police. Like we said, he didn't even have a name. That's what he's credited as. We have Hugh Grant, who played Lofty / the Oompa Loompa, or AKA the Oompa Loompa. Patterson Joseph, who played Slugworth. Matt Lucas, who played Prod Nose. Matthew Banton?
I'd say Bainton,
who played Fickelgruber. Olivia Colman, who played Mrs. Scrubbit. And Tom Davis, who played Bleacher. So, yeah. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
my gosh, dude. This cast was freaking bitching.
Dude, oh my God. Just amazing. Like,
I will say this. I had close to zero hopes that Timothy Chalamet was going to be any good.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, like, dude, it's because, like, everything else I've seen him in, like, I mean, I've seen him in Dune. I've seen him in Don't Look Up. And a couple other things, too. Oh, Little Women.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
Yeah. So, like, those movies, he didn't have very much personality. He was always, like, very bland and dry. And
I gotta agree.
The stuff that I've seen him in terms of, like, SNL, I'm like, it seems like he's trying a little too hard to, like, show off a personality.
Yeah.
All of that was just freaking squashed with this one. I was like, dude, he is fantastic. And the fact that he sings everything himself, bro.
Right? Yeah, dude, I'm on the same page as Caleb. Like, I've never been on board the Timothy Chalamet train. Because Dune bored the shit out of me. Like, not his performance was all right. And I blame that probably on the script. But yeah, I found the movie boring as hell. Little Women, he wasn't in enough for me to get in a good, I guess, impression of him. And so, like, I feel that this was my first true impression of Timothy Chalamet. I get it now. I completely get it. Like, this kid can freaking act. He can sing. He like I truly think Gene Wilder would be proud with his interpretation of Willy Wonka. He knocked it out of the freaking park.
Yeah, he killed it. Like, yeah, I'm with you. Like, I never saw like the appeal with him, and people were just like, "Oh, he's so funny. Like, has a great personality." I'm like, "Does he though?"
I
And
mean,
like,
honestly,
I'm
for
sure he
the
does, like in his personal life, but I mean,
I was gonna
in
say, like,
this,
the interview, all the interviews I've seen from Wonka, he seems like such a nice guy. Like, I
he
would love
does.
to meet him in person. He seems like such a chill guy.
Yeah. And dude, it wasn't even like it didn't take very long for me to freaking love his character. Like, it took me barely 5 minutes of him being on screen before I was like, I'm in.
Hell yeah.
Like, it was the first, like, I think it was the first song that I was like, dude, he, like, shit.
Right?
Like, okay,
Yeah, dude, freaking
strong start, sir.
I find it funny that just because unfortunately a lot of audiences do not love musicals, like it's not their cup of tea. And so the way that they have to advertise these movies, they can't really advertise that they're a full-blown musical. And looking back at this trailer, the Mean Girls trailer especially, because you're really not seeing a lot of music in that one, even though it's a musical adaptation. It's an adaptation of the musical from Broadway. um you kind of have to trick audiences these days into getting into their seats, and they don't find out that it's a musical until the movie's already started. um which is unfortunate because, like, it sucks that like, I get musicals aren't for everyone. They're my absolute favorite thing. Like, next to horror movies, that's my shit. I absolutely love musicals, and I'm glad that Caleb's on board with musicals as well. I don't know how much he was before he met me.
Not
But
very.
no,
Not
okay.
very at all. There were maybe a small handful of musicals that I actually enjoyed watching.
All right.
Now there is a much larger list, and it's gotten me thinking, like, do I actually like musicals? Maybe it was just like
Yes,
I've
yes, you
seen,
do.
maybe it's just because I've like seen some shitty ones, and maybe that's what's like turned me off. But the ones that I've been watching lately have been like really good.
Right?
Because I mean, any musical that we've done on the show, like, I've enjoyed.
Good. No, see, I love hearing that. So yeah, it's crazy that audiences have to be tricked nowadays into going to see musicals. But I hope that when they do actually watch them, that they do really appreciate how good most of them are nowadays. And Wonka is freaking up there for sorry, Wonka is freaking up there when it comes to musicals for me. And the fact that this is an original musical, like, this isn't a Broadway adaptation, nothing like that. These are original songs, original ideas that have never been told. Just blows my mind.
Yeah. Dude, I can't wait to get into the music because I have some thoughts on it.
Yes. But yeah, getting back to the cast.
I think we can both
So
agree
good.
number one is going to Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my
Okay.
God.
So
Amazing.
let's hear what your 2, 3, and 4 are going to be.
Okay. Number 2, I gotta give it to Kala. How do we say her name?
I'm just going to guess that it's Kala.
Sorry, thank you. Kala Lane, who played Noodle. Wow. amazing performance. Like I said earlier, the brother-sister dynamic that is created throughout between her and Wonka is so genuine, and it just makes you smile throughout. And I feel when it truly comes to fruition with the song, what is it? I don't think it's called Life Doesn't Seem So Bad. But just her, talking about how he's like the only good thing that has ever happened to her. It's such a great song, and it's so sentimental. But just there's that, just watching their relationship build throughout. And when we get to the finale of her finding her mom and, her having to part ways with Willy Wonka, you're sad by it, but it feels so right that he was able to do such a genuinely beautiful thing for her.
Yeah.
So
I think I was just looking through the soundtrack real quick. I think the one that you're thinking of is For a Moment.
That's what it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Number 3. God, everyone is just so good. I think number 3, I'm gonna give to Patterson Joseph, who played Slugworth. Loved his performance. I feel like it's a with both adaptations, I feel he's a very one note character. In this one, he actually does give him a little bit of depth. He's still kind of the same. He's still a very sleazy guy.
Yeah. Well, he's someone that you love to hate in this.
Exactly. And I feel Patterson Joseph just like makes that even more apparent and does an amazing job with that. And freaking, like, he's my favorite out of the cartel. All of them are so freaking good, but he is the standout. He is just absolutely amazing, and I loved every single time that Slugworth was on screen. And then I think just because he's not in it a lot, but I just enjoyed his performance enough that I think number 4 I'll give to Hugh Grant, who played Lofty / Oompa Loompa. What he brought to the character, I really, really enjoyed. The moments that he had with Willy Wonka were genuinely really funny, especially the ending when Wonka is singing Pure Imagination to him, and he keeps calming, just like when Wonka's just like, come with me. He's like, okay, where? And you'll be in a world of pure imagination. He's just like, it's a ruined castle. It's just so great. It's moments like that. I'm just like, okay, but like I really appreciate Hugh Grant in this role. So yeah, that would be my top 4.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah, definitely giving my number 2 to Calla. Exactly what you said. I thought her dynamic with Wonka was perfection. Like it was so sweet, and I loved it. My number 3, on the other hand, I think I'm going to give to Olivia Colman as Mrs. Scrubbit.
That's fair.
Loved her. She was just so diabolical. I'm just like, every time she was on, I'm just like, gosh, you are the worst. But it's such like in an endearing way.
Yeah.
That I had a hard time like hating her.
That's fair. Yeah, no, she's amazing.
Yeah. My number 4, though, I am going to be with you. I'm giving it to Patterson Joseph. He knocked it out of the park. He was someone, again, another character that was just, I love to hate. And his performance, like how often he was just taken aback by things. I was like, like it just over the top. I loved it. He's so just someone, yeah. Like I said, love to hate. Like I thought he was such the character was such a douche, but like again in an endearing way.
Dude, the fact that they were going to drown Wonka and Noodle in chocolate is so messed up. Like, oh my god.
I know it was it was super messed up, but like
Like, I get
funny.
like you know, like the same thing almost happens with Augustus and Willy Wonka. So I'm wondering if freaking Wonka got flashbacks in that movie. It's just like, well, I've been here before.
Yep. Oh shit. Yeah, I thought that was so funny. Dude, I gotta say, I love the little nods to shit that you saw in Willy Wonka.
Yes.
Like, I loved how the incorporation of the golden ticket, like that was just beautifully done. Like being able to like eating the environment, like that was freaking awesome. Like when he
Yeah.
first opened the shop. Yeah, like just all those little nods, like they were great. But yeah, that's my top 3. Hugh Grant is a very close number 5 though.
All right. Love it.
Yeah. All right, so where are you sitting with acting?
Everyone is just so freaking good. I think acting, because I feel like there are certain members of the laundrette. There's only like 2 characters that like just kind of bring it down for me a little bit. So I think acting, I'm gonna be sitting at a 94.
Yeah, I was actually sitting a couple points lower. I'm sitting at like 92. Like I mean, the people that I had issues with, like even with like taking into consideration like Keegan-Michael Key's character, I didn't think that character was fully necessary, but I enjoyed his performance.
Yeah.
And I think that just has more to do with my appreciation for Keegan-Michael Key.
No, dude, seriously, like, spoiler for the music, but just I feel it's like the way that he performs it. The Sweet Tooth song, the ending when he's just like, keep your wretched chocolates. And Slugworth he offers them 1,800 boxes, and it like the music just cuts, and he's just like, oh, done. Like, the way that it's just so good.
Yeah. So yeah, no one brought it down a lot.
Yeah.
If any, it was like super minor extras.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah. All right, moving on over to character development. Which this is one that was done really well. I'm not going to say it was top tier, but it was done well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for like a Willy Wonka origin, like this is pretty damn solid. Like seeing how, he has so many ideas, so many ambitions, what he wants his chocolate to be when we first join him. Like how he literally says in the first song, all he has to offer is his chocolate. And seeing him go through so many hurdles throughout, like trying to sell his chocolate at first, it doesn't work out. Him becoming freaking a prisoner of Mrs. Scrubbit with what happened with him for the room and board, and just watching throughout him trying to expose his chocolate to however many people that he can, to work up to eventually getting a chocolate shop. And then you think that like when he's at his highest, it all comes crashing down again. And then after that, he does, like get built back up. But I feel that actually like kind of took me by surprise, that we see all of this build up to him finally getting a chocolate shop. He gets it, but then he gets put right back to ground zero. And I feel that it surprised me so much that I actually appreciated that.
Yeah. It's almost like where he was starting off on the ground floor and then building up, and then it's that emotional hit just took him even lower than he was,
Mm-hmm.
like starting out, and challenged him and his thoughts and just his dreams. And I really liked that take on him, where he was pining for something that wasn't truly attainable, with it being like um him expecting his mother to like appear or whatever his idea of her keeping her promise was.
Mm-hmm.
um with when that didn't happen with this shop, and I think he was already kind of like down because of that, and then just the whole blow up with the shop is freaking crazy. So I really like that. And then again, it challenged his dreams and his beliefs and everything, and he was able to overcome that.
Yes.
And like I said, it's not top tier, but it's damn good.
Yeah.
Like, this is somewhere I'm sitting maybe around like an 87.
That's really good. I think I'm just gonna be a little higher than you at an 89.
Fair enough.
Definitely
All right,
doesn't crack 90s, but
yeah.
still super solid.
All right, next up we got effects. This was, dude, I didn't see it in IMAX, but this was a stunning movie.
Oh yeah, dude, freaking like I've already said, the freaking seeing this in XD with like the last 10 minutes of how the factory's being built around him, just oh my god, just chef's kiss. It was so beautiful. It
Yeah.
looked incredible.
Oh my gosh. Dude, we got to talk about that damn giraffe.
True.
That, I don't know if that was a fully CGI giraffe or what the case was with that. That looked straight up real.
Dude, yeah, that really did. Um
And it always looked real too. It
yeah,
wasn't
even
like
when sorry, go.
no, I was just saying, like, even in like in motion, it looked real.
Yeah, dude, seriously, yeah, when it's running through I don't even know what it's called.
Like the cathedral.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah, the cathedral. Yeah, doesn't look fake one bit.
Yeah,
It
that
was
blew
amazing.
my freaking mind.
Yeah, it looks so good.
I was really expecting it to look fake.
Yeah,
At
fair.
some point, I was like, okay, it's gonna make some face. It's gonna do something to make it look fake, and it did not, even
Yeah,
a little bit.
no, not one bit. Just oh my god, just like what'd you think of the effect for the Oompa Loompa, like the motion capture that they did?
I mean, it looked okay.
Yeah.
I think like the biggest thing that I'd have to say about the effects with this film is nothing felt out of place.
Mm.
Like nothing felt like it was overly rubbery. Like you definitely have those moments where it's like, oh yeah, this is like damn near pure CGI.
Yeah,
But there was enough real elements in it to distract from those things that looked overly rubbery.
I agree. Like the scene where he's singing oh my god, A World of Your Own, I think that's what it's called. You think that I would know these? I should know these songs. Um, but when he's singing that, when he opens his chocolate shop, and you see Willy Wonka like jumping to one cloud to another, which like you could definitely tell that like they look I don't know if you want to say fake, but like they definitely don't look like real clouds because they're made of cotton candy. But it's just like those kind of aesthetics, the way that they incorporate him, like, I guess, like playing with his candy throughout that whole song, the effects of like how amazing the candy looked throughout this movie, it just freaking were incredible to me. Just amazing.
Yeah, I mean they were fantastic. And yeah, honestly, spoiler alert, I think A World of Your Own was one of my favorite songs.
That fair. It's, oh my god. It is so good.
Yeah. But yeah, freaking I can't think of a single thing that I was just like unimpressed with in terms of the effects, because it's like I said, they had enough real elements about it that that enhanced it. You
Yes.
I cannot wait for the behind the scenes stuff to come out with this film.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, this is one I cannot wait to see how they did this, because I do not believe for a single second that a majority of this was CGI. A lot of it was,
Yeah.
but I feel like a majority was practical.
Yeah, I agree.
Or at least if a majority of it wasn't practical, the important things were practical.
Yes.
I mean, and then obviously, I mean, you definitely got stuff that's like, okay, yeah, he's very obviously on like wires and stuff, which who cares? Like that stuff with a character like this, you expect kind of that level of gracefulness that you can only achieve through wire work.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, like the scene where him and Noodle are like dancing in the zoo, like the whole like balloons, stuff like that. Yeah, like definitely could tell there's some wire work there, but like you said, with a character like Willy Wonka, it makes complete sense.
Yeah. It's just they built it up in a way, and I think it like a big shout out has to be thrown to the first song, um, the Hat Full of Dreams. That set the tone perfectly for what this film was going to be, because it used wire work, it used
Yes.
practical effects, it used everything that this movie was going to utilize.
Yes.
So I mean, the biggest of shout outs there. So I'm pretty damn high on this one as well.
But how high? That's the true question.
I think I'm sitting at a pretty sturdy 94. I think like everything about this, like wire work and whatever was practical, worked worked really well and in line with the things that were probably CGI.
Yeah.
But nothing stood out enough where I'm not completely able to call out what was CGI and what was practical.
I think just the way that the ending of how the chocolate shop is being built, for how much that just had me in awe and just smiling, just how incredible that looked. I think I got to be slightly higher than you. So I think I'm going to be at a 96.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, next up we got music. And bro, the soundtrack's the shit.
Yeah. There is not one song in this soundtrack that I don't like. Like, I've been listening to this soundtrack nonstop since I saw this movie, which I saw this on opening weekend, December, what was it, 15th that it came out? I will catch myself listening to the soundtrack at least once a day, and I do not skip over any song, even the sad one, the Sorry Noodle song. I don't skip over it because it's still a good song.
There is only one song that I didn't 100% care for, but it was still a catchy tune, and that
Which one?
like Sweet Tooth.
Really?
Yeah, that was the one song that didn't quite do it for me. But I still appreciate its catchiness.
Yeah.
So I mean this is just one that my personal feelings about the song vary from how I feel about how the song worked in this film.
Yeah. What you mean, Caleb,
My
is you don't have the hots for chalks. Okay.
my biggest complaint about musicals is every song sounds similar to the previous song, with the exception of like maybe one or two. This one, every single song felt like its own entity. And
Exactly.
I cannot praise the soundtrack enough for being able to pull that off. Like, holy shit. Because like with others, like you can usually catch like they have the same tune. It's just like it's the same tune as like a previous song, just like reworded a little bit. And there were a couple like times where there was like a reprisal of certain songs.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, the big musical numbers, you can't freaking beat how like original those were. Each song felt like an original tune, and I loved that. I mean, obviously not counting Pure Imagination, but still, and Oompa Loompa. But dude, this soundtrack was the shit.
So good.
Yeah. So I have zero issue giving this a 10 out of 10.
Yes. Oh, that makes me so happy.
What's crazy too is after I left this movie, it wasn't necessarily Pure Imagination that was stuck in my head. It was a World of Our Own.
That's fair. I've actually heard a lot of people say the same thing.
Yeah, and that's freaking nuts. Because Pure Imagination is a freaking banger.
True that. I think the one that's like stuck in my head for weeks has been Hatful of Dreams. I don't know what it is about that one.
That's a damn good song too. That is a damn good song. Yeah, there are not many songs in the there aren't any songs in this that don't work.
Yeah.
And not having not only one but two, and for you 3 songs that are all catchy, like, bro.
Yeah. Just so good. So good.
Yeah, so I have no problems giving that a solid 10. All right, next up we got costumes. And so we got like the 2 main ones. One being
Yeah.
Willy Wonka's outfit and the other being the design of the Oompa Loompa.
Which, I mean, I get why the Oompa Loompa is not wearing his classic outfit from the first Willy Wonka. You know, I'm sure that wasn't established until years later into it. And I don't think that this is a true connection between the Gene Wilder one. It's kind of a looser connection, which totally okay with that. Don't got anything wrong with that. So the fact that, you know, like we see how the Oompa Loompas look on Loompa Land, like all of their outfits are, what's the word? Uniform. That makes complete sense. But then when Lofty goes out on his own, you know, he changes it up. He's a lot more fancier dressed. So you know, it makes sense. But freaking Wonka's outfit in this, oh my god, fantastic! Like it's like Gene Wilder's, but like say like if I don't want to say if Willy Wonka was poor, but it kind of does feel like that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take that into consideration though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like this is very much Willy Wonka pre-legendary status.
Yeah, that's true. So like you freaking got the classic hat, you know, just overcoat, just like it all works perfectly in my opinion. Like they knocked it out of the park with how Willy Wonka looks.
Yeah. I mean, and just comparing this, I mean, I love that they matched the color scheme and everything. They matched the hair.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's not a lot that doesn't fit with that. I mean, you got the same kind of color scheme though in terms of like his outfit.
That is true.
Like I think in the in the movie, it's kind of like purple-ish like outfit with the white overalls, and
Yeah.
you kind of have that same color. Like the I mean, facially, like you got the like the orange with the white eyebrows, the bright green hair. Like yeah, I mean, they freaking nailed it.
Yeah.
Like, I think, and we talked about this earlier, I think the only real issue that we had was maybe the size.
Yeah. Like, the Oompa Loompas were never this small in the original Willy Wonka, which, like, I don't know, it's definitely seems like a loose prequel to the original Gene Wilder one. So I guess, wanting to make these little changes, but I would have liked to see the Oompa Loompas still looking the same size as they did in the
Yeah.
original.
I mean, and we talked about this a little bit too. I think they should have gone with a little person for the Oompa Loompa.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, you could have kept the height difference and everything, like the size, but I think they needed to go the little person route. I think that would have been more authentic to the Gene Wilder version.
Agreed.
I mean, not discounting the Hugh Grant's performance, like, he was great,
Yeah.
but it would have been something I would have liked to see.
And yeah, if they went that direction, they wouldn't have had to spend, I'm assuming, a decent amount on the motion capture that they had to do for Hugh Grant.
Probably a solid amount.
Yeah, because that shit ain't cheap.
Nope. Yeah, but gosh, I mean, the costumes kind of have everything that you're looking for, like a solid silhouette, iconic outfit. I think I'm not at a 10 with this though.
Yeah, I'm not either. I can agree with that.
I'm probably either a strong 8 or a really weak 9.
I think I'm gonna agree with. I think I'm at a strong 8 as well.
Strong 8.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, last up, we got our own personal scores.
All right, who's going first?
You pick.
Coin flip. I'm just kidding. I'll go first.
Okay.
God, I love this movie. As you can see from our scores, both Caleb and I really, really enjoyed this movie. The cast is amazing. Timothée Chalamet, guy was incredible as Willy Wonka. This is his best performance I've ever seen, and like I said, I'm finally on the Timothée Chalamet train. I get it. I finally get it. The music is incredible. Every single song is a toe tapper. Even well, I guess okay, maybe minus some that are like the meant to be genuinely sad songs. I don't think you're going to be wanting to tap your foot to "Sorry Noodle." But just the music is great. The supporting cast is great. Just it's an origin movie that I feel none of us asked for, but I'm so glad that we got it. Because I just love this movie so much. And I know we didn't do our top movies of last year of 2023, but this actually was this easily became my number one of 2023. I loved Wonka. So personal score. I think I'm going to go a 97.
Damn!
Dude, I loved this movie.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. I am not at a 97, but I did very much love this movie. I'm sitting at a 91.
Okay, then that's got a bit of difference.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
don't get me wrong. I love this movie.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, it hit all the right notes for me. I had a good time with it, but this is one that I am definitely going to like re-explore, and it's one that I'm probably going to do a deep dive in terms of like the production of this. Like, I cannot wait to see the production of this film. Yeah. So, yeah, Sam 97. Are you saying you like this movie? Yeah, I think that's exactly what Rose is saying there. But
Very much so.
yeah, but I'm with you. Like, dude, 2023 has been a solid move or year for movies.
Dude, yeah, like I hope 2024 is just as solid, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, you and me both. But yeah, like I said, I can't personally justify giving it a 97, but I am definitely within the 90s, sitting at a 91.
All right. Hell yeah.
But all right, with that wraps up this week's breakdown. So going through these scores real quick, starting off with story, we are sitting at a 94.5. The writing is sitting at a 91.5. Acting is sitting at a 93. The character development is, I want to say, our lowest category, sitting at an 88. Then our effects is got a pretty decent bump, sitting at a 95. The music is sitting at a 10 out of 10. The costumes is sitting at an 8 out of 10. And the personal score ended up averaging to a 94.
Not bad.
So with that, the final All Bros letter grade for Wonka has come out to A minus.
Yes. Let's go.
And a pretty sturdy one. It's definitely middle of the road, sitting at a 92.62.
Okay.
Which, I mean, in terms of like the A minus movies, like that's not bad.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So let me see if I can freaking find it. I said 92, right?
I believe so.
Where the hell is it? Son of a bitch. Jeez, this is probably so boring. Sorry. I was having a freaking bitch of a time trying to find this. All right. So Wonka sitting at an A minus, 92.62%, puts it on the exact same level as Last Night in Soho.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There are going to be some hurt feelings with this rank. Do you want to hear what it's below or what it's above first?
I kind of want to hear what it's above first.
All right.
Oh, God.
Coming off real freaking hot.
Oh, shit.
This is sitting above Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, shit. Oh, dude, we are going to get some freaking fire comments from that.
Oh, yeah, because people have already written this movie off as trash.
What?
Like, that's what I feel. Like, I have not seen positive views on this movie.
People can go eat it.
Yeah.
Suck whatever.
Right.
I am glad though to see that it is actually doing decently at the box office.
That's
I think
good.
it's about to cross 400 million, which
That's not bad.
a lot of people were expecting it to be a box office bomb. So I'm very happy about that. It's almost, I hope that it can make it to the century mark. Hope it can make it to 500 million.
Yeah, you and me both. All right. It is also sitting above Joker.
Holy shit.
Dude, it's high.
I'm very happy about this.
It is also sitting above the Bob's Burgers movie.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Then it is above Elvis.
Okay.
And then it is above the Eternals.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah, going the opposite direction, it is sitting below Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
It is below Encanto.
Okay.
It is below Avengers Infinity War.
Fair.
And it is below Avengers Endgame.
All right. That's fair. I can agree with all those.
Oh, and then one more. It's below Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Okay.
So I mean the below, it's like it's below what it's below, it's like, yeah, like that tracks.
Yeah.
What it's above, it's like shit. But
Yeah,
can
like-
you disagree?
Exactly. Holy shit.
I cannot wait to release that video.
Oh, dude, that's going to be amazing. Top comment. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
Dude, no joke. No freaking joke.
Holy shit. Dude, I don't know if Vic still watches does Vic still listen to our episodes? Do you know?
Maybe.
Okay. I would be so curious to find out his opinion when he finds out that Wonka's ranked higher than Into the Spider-Verse.
Dude, I hope that we get messages about it.
Yep, I hope so too. I really do.
Yeah, so oh my gosh, I'm so pumped. All right.
Damn. Hell yeah. All right. Well, I'd say that's going to wrap up this episode. Unless Caleb, you got anything else you want to say?
Nope.
All right. Well, if you guys liked what you heard and you want to hear more from us, be sure to follow and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are damn near everywhere. Spotify, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, all that fun stuff. If you prefer to listen to your podcasting episodes on YouTube, you can also find us there. Be sure to check out our social media where you can suggest movies to us, answer our questions of the week, stuff like that. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, X. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and those are all at the All Bros. You can check out our website, tinyurl.com/allbros. And also, if you prefer to get into contact with us through email, you can do so at the Allbros channel at gmail.com. And maybe check out our merch store. We got some cool shit. You guys know that Caleb does amazing designs for these episodes. I'm in awe every single week that I see his episode arts. So if you want to own some of them, which you should, because all of them are incredible, you can find them at tpublic.com/user/the All Bros channel. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Next week on the podcast, we'll be breaking down a movie Caleb has already seen, but I have not yet. I'm excited to see it because it's Illumination, and for the most part, they haven't let me down. So we'll be breaking down Migration. So definitely excited definitely excited to check that one out. And so you can look forward to that episode next week. But until then, this has been the All Bros Podcast. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Caleb.
And we will catch you guys next week. Shalom.
Deuces.